Hey guys, so today we are reacting to an episode of the Banban Chronicles. A video from the made for the fourth brothers YouTube channel, which is the company that made Gordon Banban. And it is, the chronicles are like videos talking about the history of different Gordon Banban characters. So this one, we are starting with number 5, and we will go down to number 1. So this one is, I believe this one is the one about Flumbo. So the character from Gordon Banban 8, or Anti-Devil, as the subtitle is called. So if you guys have played Gordon Banban, I don't know what Gordon Banban is, this will be a fun video for you guys. If you guys have been learning about the history of Flumbo, timely, so before we get into the reaction of the video itself, I just want you guys to know that this video is sponsored by WNG, and it's only 10% off your order on £6 today. Use for code TJ that's TJ in all tests, and the promo code section down to check your order on W today. So hit the link in the description down below, and it will take you right to W's website, where you can get 10% off your order on the £6 and they have so many different flavors and designs that you can choose from, like designs-wise for the stickers and flavor-wise for the palettes. If we're going off of ones that you guys can get right now, I would recommend you guys get the Dove's one, which is the green apple flavor, if you get the flavor of green apple. But the one I'm currently using is one that you can get only during Black Friday, or that week of Black Friday. So if you guys are watching this on Black Friday, you could probably get the flavor I'm currently using, which is the plum rum one, which is like a cherry plum type thing. And they will come up here around Black Friday, so if it's around that time, I recommend get that one. But otherwise, any recent time I picked the more current one I would recommend get is the Dutch one. Which is enjoyable. But if you just are to green apple or it's not Friday for you, we have so many different flavors that you can choose from as well. So just take a look around and you might find one that piques your interest. But yeah, when you're done checking out your own, just remember to put the promo code TJ that's TJ all text, and the promo code section down to check out your order today if you want to get 10% off your order. And as already said, let's jump right into this reaction.
The iconic family mural of Banban's kindergarten is the spirit of the facility. At first glance, it might seem that the family mural showcases 6 different characters. But what if I told you that there are actually 7? A blue creature that looks eerily similar to the red one that it's hidden under. And why this blue creature was never meant to be found and how he was eventually found is exactly what's answered in Garden of Banban Zero and Garden of Banban Anti-Devil. This blue creature is Original Banban, as he is currently named in the game files. But you might know him better by his public name, Flumbo. That's right! This one is actually Flumbo. And longtime viewers of the Banban Chronicles might recognize his public name from episode 1. But this time around, this is actually Flumbo. The Garden of Banban cast each have their own detailed story and personality, and that's what makes Garden of Banban unique. Join me on the 5th episode of the Banban Chronicles, narrated by me, Ty Coker, the voice actor of the Bitter Giggle Assistant, a series where we dedicate each episode to discussing the history and secrets of a member of the Garden of Banban cast. The main storyline of Garden of Banban Anti-Devil revolved around the intense rivalry between Banban and Flumbo. Two characters that, while physically very similar, differ significantly on every other scale. But what if I told you that the physical differences between Banban and Flumbo were originally much more significant than what they ended up being? You see, when the Euphoric brothers were first planning for Flumbo's physical debut in Garden of Banban Anti-Devil, they wanted a character that would serve as the complete opposite of Banban, but yet would be similar enough physically so that people can tell he's a variant of Banban. So to start, it was agreed upon that the character should be a shade of blue, which is what's commonly thought of as the opposite color of red. Then, seeing how similar Banban looked to an anthropomorphic cat, it was decided that the character should be a dog, given that dogs are often thought of as the enemies of cats. And just like that, the first design of Flumbo was created, a blue dog version of the red Banban we know and love. What's on screen right now is seriously what Flumbo was going to look like as saved in the project files, not some interpretation created later based on some loose description. He had the same physique as Banban, as well as his iconic smile and tongue. Did anyone else ever feel like Banban should be talking like this the whole time? Will that get annoying? His shade of blue was later made to be lighter so his facial features are clearer, and was then given a singular party hat to match the party hats of the red Banban. Although his party hat had a color scheme of white, blue, green, and yellow, whereas the original Banban's hats are light blue, white, gold, and dark pink. However, after the design was finished, it really felt like it shifted too far from Banban's original design, which was not the goal. And so the character was restored back to being a cat, banishing Dogban into the dark realm of unused character designs. And for a while, Flumbo was literally just a blue version of Banban that even wore two hats, just like red Banban. Sometime later, his hats were taken away, and a variety of different accessories were tested on him to see what looked cool and interesting. Things like different eyes, eyebrows, mouth designs, colors, and more were all given to Flumbo at one point. If Flumbo is the main character of the cast, he needed to be the character that all the other cast members looked up to. And you know who others look up to?
Superheroes! And that's exactly what Flumbo was originally going to look like. A superhero!
He had 2 yellow gloves, 2 yellow boots, a wider smile than the red Banban, a yellow beard, and yellow eyebrows. But he once again started to look a little too different from Banban. So his boots were taken away, and then eventually his gloves too, leaving Flumbo the way we know him today. Naked. What do you think of these previous designs? Let us know in the comments below which one is your favorite. Dogban, Super Flumbo, Regular Flumbo, or one of the designs in between. If there's a fan favorite design, maybe it'll make some kind of comeback in the series. Not you, Dogban. You stay down there with Oscar. But what if I told you that's not everything related to Flumbo that was eventually scrapped or ended up unused? Much like all of the other characters, Flumbo too has unused voice lines. And there is one in particular that has a very interesting backstory. And this particular line is Flumbo's laugh. Take a listen. This laugh was intended to play after Flumbo grabs you and jumps off Syringen's balcony with you. Because at this particular scene, Flumbo still thinks you're playing hide and seek. As far as he knew, this was all a game. This laugh was taken out so far into development of Garten of Banban Anti-Devil that there's versions of it in every language that dubbing is available in. So English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Russian, Korean, Japanese, and German. Take a listen. Flumbo has so many scrapped and unused properties to the point where the character's name itself was also once unused. If you had watched the first episode of the Banban Chronicles, which revolved around Banban himself, then you already know that Banban's name was originally planned to be Flumbo. This is noticeable in the game files where many of Banban's assets have Flumbo in the name, not Banban. The entire game itself was originally going to be called Flumbo and Friends, not Garten of Banban. But of course, you know by now, things took a very different course. Banban became Banban, not Flumbo, and Garten of Banban became Garten of Banban instead of Flumbo and Friends. Though there's still a little Easter egg to it in Garten of Banban 7, where the same Flumbo would be later reused and given to a familiar character that would debut very briefly in the franchise's 7th entry, and later become the main character of the franchise's 8th entry. This character would also fittingly become a kind of an original version of Banban, much like how Flumbo was the original name of Banban. Which, as a bonus fact, is voiced by Daniel Walton, an absolute legend, who also voiced characters in some of the Euphoric Brothers' older games. And also, as another fun little fact, there's a 9 a.m. clock icon for the Flumbo clock that never appears in the game. In fact, every clock icon that has ever appeared in the franchise has a 9 a.m. variant that's never used. This is because the clock starts at 10 a.m. and stops at 3 p.m. But what if I told you that these aren't the only things related to Flumbo that were scrapped or unused? Flumbo's introduction in Garten of Banban Anti-Devil took perhaps the most amount of time to write and perfect, with many sequences originally planned to play out very differently from how they ended up being. In the many original scripts, as well as the final script, the plot is relatively the same up until the point where you open Flumbo's closet for the very first time. Although the prison sequence was a lot crazier originally, but that we'll discuss in future episodes of Banban Chronicles. In the final version of the script, you approach the closet as normal, only to find Banban already there right before he was going to open it to let Flumbo out. Banban then greets you and explains afterwards that he was sent there to bring someone that was in the closet. However, as soon as he opens the closet slightly, Flumbo would sprint out and run away from both you and Banban. He tells you to follow him into the Garten of Banban 0 area, where he tells you that the person he's looking for thinks he's still playing hide and seek, and that he must be somewhere in the area. You then play a short game with Banban where you try to find Flumbo in the Garten of Banban 0 area, which Flumbo eventually loses when you both catch him. You'd then all board the train together like the final script, but the events that happen inside were also changed. Instead of being shocked that Syringen wants to hunt you down, Banban was originally meant to already know that. And that on the train, he'd call Syringen via a walkie-talkie, telling him he's got Flumbo, but not the human. He'd tell you that Syringin has everyone under control using shock collars placed around their necks, including the Givanium citizens. He'd tell you that the machine that allows him to shock the collars of anyone in the facility is right in his office, and that Banban himself has the chip that could completely hijack and stop the machine. And that he himself can't go back with it because he'll get searched, and if they find it, he'll be caught. So he gives it to the player and tells them to meet back with him in the tower using the back door. Sound familiar? The player would then be dropped off at the old clinic and then have to make their way through, similar to the final version of the script. Although the sequence of the old clinic itself too was also changed quite a bit, but that's for another video. The player would make their way into the tower, up the elevator, plant the chip where Banban wanted it, and then enter Syringin's office to find Flumbo strapped to a bed. Once again, similar to the final version of the script. Flumbo is freed, Syringin discovers that Flumbo is freed, then Flumbo grabs you and you both jump off the balcony together to find yourself awakening in the Givanium village. And although there are many other things that were changed from the original scripts and the final script, that will need to be discussed in later episodes. This is all we can share in this episode regarding Flumbo's involvement, as not to spoil too much of the future episodes. For example, the fact that a very familiar character was meant to appear in Garten of Banban Anti-Devil and play a major role, but never did, as to save his reappearance for a later game. Or the fact that the remote was not originally meant to shoot electricity and instead do something completely different, but just as cool. But wait, what's that cute little Banban plushie doing here?
Fun.
Stay tuned for the next episode of the Banban Chronicles, where the secrets and history of another character will be revealed. Comment down below which character you want to learn more about next. And keep on flumboing! That doesn't work as well.
Well, yes, that was a pretty good video. I didn't know that type of stuff, but I knew Flumbo was a character that they had from like when they announced the characters for Garten of Banban 8. But I didn't know that he had like so many different variants of him, like the dog, the superhero, and type of stuff there. And then I didn't know he had so many different laughs. Like, you hear him laugh during the scene where he jumps off of the balcony, but it's so fun to find out that they recorded that laugh so far into production, but made the decision to remove it so far into production where they already had laugh in so many different languages, like Korean, Japanese, and even, I think it was, Russian or something? I don't know, yeah, no, a second, but yeah, something like that, or how he was supposed to fit into the story, as well. Like, I didn't know that he was supposed to be, run away from you instead of hiding in the cupboard and staying there. I thought the minute, I didn't know once you opened it, he was supposed to run away or anything like that. So that was kind of fun and different to find out about. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section down below. And we have 4 more episodes of Banban Chronicles to react to. So we got Video, we got Stephen, we got Syringes, and we got Banban himself. So let me know which one out of those 4 that you want me to react to next. If you just want to say in which one gets reacted to next. If not, don't worry about it. But yeah, if you do have a preference to which one I do next, please do say so in the comment section down below. And down there, feel free to let me know what you guys think of this reaction itself and this video, and let me know if you guys want to see more, like when they make episode 6 of a Chronicles or anything like that. Yeah, so that's being said, I'll see you guys in the next video, which I think as I'm recording this, it will be a that 4-minute reaction video to a from a witness video that I found. And then a music video about it. So if any of those pique your interest, so I'll see you guys then. Or if not, I'll see you for the next reaction to another Banban Chronicles video. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.